Health Ministry of Lebanon reported that at least 22 people were killed in airstrikes on residential buildings in 2 primarily Shia neighborhoods, and more than 110 others were injured in what appears to be Israel's deadliest attack on central Bayout since it escalated its campaign against the Iranian-backed group Hezbollah. Reportedly, the target was Wafik Safa, a senior member of Hezbollah. The majority of Israel's airstrikes on Bayout have targeted the southern suburbs, which are heavily supported by Hezbollah. Following 2 calm days in the capital of Lebanon, an earlier Israeli attack on a UN peacekeeping base in southern Lebanon was strongly denounced at a UN Security Council meeting. On Thursday, 2 peacekeepers were injured when an Israeli shell struck an observation tower in Nura. Israel has stated that in order to prevent risk, UN forces should retreat 5 kilometers from the border. As it continues its military operations against Hezbollah, 4 Israeli army divisions are currently engaged in combat inside Lebanon. Since Hezbollah started firing rockets into northern Israel on October 8, 2023, the day after Hammam's deadly attack on southern Israel, which left about 1,200 people dead and another 251 taken hostage in the Gaza Strip, hostilities in the region have steadily increased. Let me show you the scene live from Central Bay Road. As you can see, it's a familiar scene as the smoke continues to bow up above the Lebanese skyline. I would like to begin by providing an update on the most recent Israeli strikes in southern Lebanon. These strikes are currently taking place in Beirut, southern Lebanon, and this is a rare instance of Israel striking central Beirut. This is the 3rd time that Israel has struck Lebanon, and the target was Wafik Safa, a top leader in Hezbollah. Hezbollah released a statement stating that Safa managed to escape the strike and is not believed to have died, although Tab reports that 22 people have died. This attack has resulted in over 100 casualties in the south, where the ground operation has intensified. The Israeli forces are attempting to advance through land, sea, and air power, but it appears that they are not doing so as quickly as they did in Gaza. In Lebanon, they appear to be encountering significant resistance and have announced some casualties as well. Just to pick up on that point, Mohammed, despite taking the deputy leader of Hezbollah, announced a few days ago that they managed to fill all the leadership roles in Hezbollah efficiently with the first generation of Hezbollah leaders, and everything was working fine. This is demonstrated by the fact that Hezbollah is still fighting on the ground, continuing to fire rockets into northern Israel, and still having a significant resistance, despite the loss of some key senior figures in the organization. Concerning the fighters and the leadership's response to the Pazis and Wokitoy explosions, of course, but as of right now, Hezbollah appears to be defiant. They are battling back on the ground and continuing to fire rockets into Israel. Meanwhile, the situation in Gaza is similar. Following a year of fighting with the Israeli army, we discovered that Hamas had set up some sort of trap for the Israeli forces in the northern Jabalia refugee camps, and it appears that they were able to hit some.
May withdraw, the situation would worsen, and this is also something I like to compare all the time between what's happening in Gaza and what's happening in southern Lebanon. In Gaza, aid workers were targeted, forcing them to flee, and we see that there are more than 60 deaths there. Today, BBC Arabic is attempting to verify whether or not Israeli troops were actually besieging the hospitals in South Lebanon. Gaza and where it is located, we are utilizing satellite imagery to monitor the situation in Gaza while also keeping tabs on events in southern Lebanon.